Have you ever looked at the, the interface of some kind of social media platform, may it be YouTube, may it be Instagram, may it be anything else, of two different people, a man and a woman, and see that at its core basis, men's content online has been to improve men, has been to it's basically just self-improvement. And when you look at women's content, it's basically just reinforcing who they are right now. No matter if they have bad habits, if they have bad assumptions, or if they have bad beliefs or habits, they just get reinforced. They change their environment to fit who they are. And men change themselves to fit their environment. The other way around, basically. So, it's kind of funny. What I wanted to talk about in this video was a subject more of like, when you actually take a look at it, it makes perfect sense, because both of these things are rooted deep into both of our human psychologies, our different human psychologies. And this is why you've got feminine women and you've got masculine men. Like, at a core principle, those are the two different energies and essences that exist within each and every one of us. And you might see today a feminine man because he might have been indoctrinated in a certain way, or educated in a certain way, or raised in a certain environment that actually made him that way. And so it's the same thing for women. You can see a very masculine women now today. It's very common, actually. They are very similar to what a masculine man would be. And it's kind of funny, because when you actually look at it, that's not what they're attracted to. They're not attracted to feminine men. They're not attracted, they've become the men that they are attracted to, which doesn't make any sense. And so when you actually look at the content and you position both of them next to each other, you can see that at a core principle, the content is made because we are men. We seek improvement, we seek betterment, we seek everything, and we will sacrifice our happiness in order to provide for our families. But on the opposite side, women will sacrifice their families to benefit their happiness, which is basically both sides of the same coin. So when you actually look at it, it makes perfect sense as to how the modern world and society, and how the social dynamics of between men and women have been, I guess, portrayed and put together today. If women behave in a masculine way, then the masculine men aren't attracted to them. And if women get masculine, they attract feminine men, but they don't want to be with feminine men, so it doesn't really fit together, it doesn't work. So what is the solution then? Do we want to talk about solutions, or do we want to talk about why this is? Because if we talk about solutions, we're taking the male paradigm of looking for answers to problems, right? And so a simple answer would be, okay, well, in that case, wouldn't it be very simple for men to just become men and women to just be women? Like, it's as simple as that. Men become men, like traditional masculine men, and they embrace the role of the leader at home. And they help the woman provide for them and make sure that they can step into that feminine role. Or the women become more feminine, and then they provide for the men more like support, emotionality, like connection, understanding, and all of these things that men actually want at the end of the day. At the end of the day, most men don't want to come home and get an argument. Most men don't want to be controlled by a woman. Most men want to help a woman and make sure that she fits into his world together. And he doesn't want to create his own world and have her have his own world. He wants both of them to create a world together, and he wants to be that leader so that she can follow in suit. Because femininity is basically more of the, I guess, the follower type energy. It's the more of the subordinate, like more of the they follow the leaders when you're more feminine. This is why most men today, the feminized men, don't do anything. They don't take action. They don't lead by example. They don't do anything. They just do as they are told. This is the problem. And you can see it. And you can feel it. And so, why is this current thing, I guess, the social dynamics, why is this a thing today? Well, I believe it all started when we gave women the ability to vote, because some women were pushing this message that they wanted to have more control over men. And so they created this movement called feminism, because they wanted to be able to vote, they wanted to have power, they wanted to have control, they wanted to be able to be, and they portrayed the role of being a feminine woman as they felt oppressed, or they felt like they didn't have enough things, or they weren't taken care of, or they weren't da da da. But if you actually look at it, they never really had any obligations like the men did. They didn't have a hard life. They would just stay with their families and then get married and then take care of their family with their man. That's basically all it was. And so men have never really changed. It's really just the women that have changed over the past 100 years, which is very recent when you actually look at it. You can see women today that have been pushed so far as to saying, I hate kids and I never want to have any. How the fuck do you get there? Like, I don't understand. And so I really wanted to just make this video to just see if you guys thought in the same way, I guess. Do you think men should just remain traditional? Do you think women should take on more responsibility, more power, more control? Or do you think we should revert back to our original, like, roles, like gender roles, I guess you could say, of the man and the woman being together and taking care of each other in a 50-50 relationship? Because when you actually look at it, we might not be equal, men and women, in terms of who we are genetically and biologically and what we can provide for one another, but we are equal when it comes to the amount of contribution that each other provides for the relationship. I provide something you cannot, and you provide something I cannot provide. So when we put together everything, it's both complete. You complete me as a person. Like, if my point as a man, if I want a relationship, I want a person that completes me for who I am. I don't want to have another masculine partner. I'm already fucking masculine enough. Like, I don't need somebody to just tell me all the time, like, da 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 da, like, fucking in my ear, always telling me, like, hey, you can do better, you can do better, do this, do this, do that, do that. Oh, you forget this. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want somebody in my ear doing that, because I'm already doing that myself. And all of my friends are doing that as well, because I'm such a very driven individual that I've basically just surrounded myself with people that just do business. And so that's the environment I've chosen. So I don't need to go to just get home and get someone yapping in my ear, just telling me how I need to do more things. I need someone to be my peace, to be my soothing, calming peace at home and take care of me. Because that's what I'm missing. I'm missing the connection. I'm missing the actual feminine bond of someone truly caring, nurturing. It's a good word. And so I think most men today, this is what they're missing. Because the problem is, technically there are two types of men. The men who sleep around and who indulge in hookup culture and who want to just be a playboy, and the men who actually want something traditional, something more of a, I want just one partner, I want to focus on her, I want her to focus on me, and I don't want her to sleep around. I want her to be a virgin. I want her to spend I want her to spend her entire life with me. I don't want her to be with another guy. Like, both sides of the same coin should be selfish. And as we see it today, men don't have high enough standards. I personally have extremely high standards, more than the average person. And it's not that hard to have high standards when you actually look at the average person today, because they don't even think about it. It's like, oh, is she pretty? Does she give me access to sex? And is she nice to be around? Or to some degree. That's it. My standards, I have a giant list of standards, and some women might be listening to this and might be thinking like, you shouldn't have standards, like, you're just controlling, you're just narcissistic, da, da, da. You are as narcissistic as I am. So why wouldn't I have standards? If you have standards, if you want me to have a six-pack, to be like physically fit, to have a certain amount of income, to be tall, I'm 6 foot tall, so all of these things, you have a lot of standards that necessitate a man to go through life to build himself in order to achieve these things. Most of them, if he isn't allocated the genetic lottery, I guess. Then in that case, why wouldn't you have standards for yourself? I don't see the bad thing about it. Like, for me, I go down the street and there are women that just stare at me, and it's like, I know they're interested, but they're not my type, so I don't care. That's the whole point. And so I don't just go up to every single woman that I find attractive and I just tell them like, hey, you're beautiful, do you want to give me your number? Or give me your number. I don't do that. I actually take the time to analyze who they are as a person. Okay, do they dress the way I would like my wife to dress? No. Okay. Do they have tattoos? Okay, well, that's gonna be a no. Does she vape? Okay, no. All of these things. Does she argue? No, thank you. Is she extremely soothing, feminine, and calm, and elegant in how she dresses? Does she have a very feminine aura around her? That's the kind of wife I want. That's the kind of person I want in my life. And yes, I'm going to be selfish about it, and you should too. This is the whole point. If women can be so selfish as to want a man that has so many different things and that checks so many of her boxes, you need to be doing the same thing. Because it's good and all to improve yourself, but if women never seek improvement, like you can look at a woman's algorithm on social media, there's not a single thing about improving themselves. Maybe on rare occasions, getting better in the gym, if they're really athletic, if they're really passionate about a certain hobby or a project or a work, maybe. But at the end of the day, men have always sought out improvement more than women, and it's not in its natural aura, natural state that women seek improvement. Women seek a good relationship. That's most of the time the number one thing they look for in their lives. When you hear women gossip and talk to their friends, their little girlfriends or whatever, they always talk about relationships and drama and how this guy made them feel and how this guy was doing this and how she's jealous of that other chick because she's in a relationship and she's not, and all of these things. It's all about relationships for them. And for men, it's all about what they can give to the woman. But you need to be careful. You can't just expect to give everything to a woman and get love in exchange. You need to give 50% of yourself to her, and she needs to give 50% of herself to you. Or 100. It's the same thing. And so what I want to do by creating this video and speaking to you guys is to educate you on what's happening based on what I've learned, what I've listened to. Most things that you can hear online, everything that I know, I've learned online or through another person or through my own personal experience. And so this is what I want to share with you guys, because you guys should have higher standards for yourselves. You guys should want a specific type of person for yourself, and you can be selfish about it. You should be selfish about it, because the women are selfish about it as well. So since you only, like, let's say most men want monogamous relationship, well, in that case, why wouldn't you be selfish about it? If you're only aiming for one person in the entire planet of 9 billion people, if you say half of those are women, that's 4.5 billion people on Earth that are potential candidates for you, for your relationship. Why wouldn't you be selfish? You're not gonna get 4 billion people in your bed. It's not happening. So what do you do then? Well, you be selfish about it. What do you want? Sit down with a piece of paper. I tell this to men all the time. Sit down with a piece of paper. Write down exactly what you want. Take your fucking notes app on fucking iPhone, or I don't care what kind of phone you have. Take out a notes app or on your laptop and just write down, okay, what do I want my wife to have or to be or to have in terms of character traits or in terms of personality? Who is she as a person? What does her environment look like? How does she dress? How does she act? All of these things. And then measure and find the right person. It's not that hard. If you actually really look at the facts, you can do a lot of things by just finding the right person and just discarding everybody else. If you just sleep around, you might miss your chance to find a better person. That's the whole point. Like, I understand if you're a masculine driven man who wants to sleep around because you feel like you want to fucking, you know what I mean? But would you rather do that, or would you rather take the time to find your wife, find your true partner, and understanding, okay, she's going to be in this country, she's going to be in this place, she's going to have this environment, she's going to be this kind of person, she's going to dress this way, she's going to have none of this, and slowly you start to define and get those higher standards that I was talking about. And this is why men need to fucking wake up and grow a beard. Stop being a feminine idiot. Just fucking get what you want, bro. Like, don't even ask. Just say like, hey, I'm getting this. These are my standards. These are my boundaries. These are like, this is who I am. And unless somebody could logically prove that this is a bad, or this is a fallacy, or this, well, I need to make better, then I'm just going to keep being me. And if you don't like that, when you can fuck off. And this is the same thing for relationships, romantic or friendly. or professional. If somebody tells you, hey, you're being a dickhead right now, you say, okay, how? Tell me how am I being a dickhead? And then if they can't define that, then you just the fuck up then, bro. Leave me alone. I don't care about your opinion. It doesn't affect me. So, the whole point of this video is to make sure that you guys understand what you can do, what information is out there, so that you can be educated on the subject and come up with your own opinion. This is more important than what the fuck I'm talking to you about. You need to come up with your own opinion. Look at other people's videos and come up with your own critical thinking thing. Yes, this makes sense. No, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do what he said. You need to come up with your own personal ideas. You can't just fucking listen to me and then fucking do nothing. I don't want you to be a copycat of me. It's like all of these super mega influential people. This is what they do. They play on the fact that you associate your identity with who they are, so that way you become a mega hardcore die-hard fan and you want to keep consuming their content. I don't care. I want you to benefit from this content. That's the whole point of why I created this channel. So, end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And summary of the video, make sure you have higher standards for yourself. Respect yourself enough to say, when enough's enough, you're gonna do the right thing. And be selfish enough to find the right person for you. Don't just fucking settle for average. Don't settle for an entitled woman. Find the right person for you. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any topic recommendations that you would like me to talk about, feel free to recommend those in the comments. And with that said, it's a beautiful day, and it's time to get back to work. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. See ya.